Hello, I'm Fast Lawyer. I'm with Oculus Rift Reviews. Today we're going to review and play Dance Central VR. Yes, today finally Dance Central is here for VR for the Oculus. May 21st, 2019. I bought it today, release date, on the Oculus Store for $29.99 for the Oculus Rift. Obviously, it's also available for the Rift S and the Quest. I can't imagine the Rift S or the Quest versions are too different from the Oculus Rift, so I think this review would apply to them as well. I had lots of fun playing this game, so obviously I'm going to give this a 5 out of 5. It's really good, but keep in mind, it's not as good as Dance Central 3, so if you're expecting something that's better than Dance Central 3, you might be disappointed in that. I'm a big Dance Central fan and big Harmonix fan. And I think Harmonix did a great job of translating Dance Central to VR, but obviously Oculus has some limitations. It doesn't have the full body tracking of the Kinect. So I think the Dance Central 3 version is still the best. That's because it has obviously the big track list available in Dance Central 3. It just has a lot of songs. All that DLC. It has all the characters. It has all those challenges and whatnot that you can do, although this version does have a lot of that as well, maybe even better. And Dance Central 3 had just those amazing routines, those full body routines that took advantage of the Kinect. However, Harmonix did an amazing job addressing the limitations of the Oculus and making these routines as fun as possible. So big props to the choreographers at Harmonix who made these routines for all these songs. I think the track list is really good. There's 30 plus songs on the Oculus, and I think there's something for everyone here. And there's also some remixes as well on top of those 30 plus songs. And the dance routines do fit the music. And even though the emphasis is on hand movement and hand gestures, you still have that sense of immersion of dancing in a club, and they don't detract at all from the dancing. So you still get that sense that you really are dancing and that you could be possibly at a club dancing to these songs. Even though if you're a Dance Central veteran like myself, you'll notice a difference between this and Dance Central 3, but it's not that big of a difference. So the difference is noticeable, but it's not game breaking or anything. Your feet and leg movement is still important in this version of Dance Central. It's just the focus, you can tell, is on the hand gestures, the hand movement, the timing. As you can see by my scores, I got a lot of goods and greats, some flawless, and so I had to get used to those hand gestures and hand movements. I've had the Oculus Rift for about 2 years now, and so obviously I'm used to the touch controllers and making those hand gestures. There's just not really a game where I had to focus on that as much as in this game. But I did have fun dancing, and I really enjoyed the routines and getting to learn them. There's 2 difficulties for the routines. There's standard or pro. What you're seeing right now is the pro versions for both these songs. If you're having trouble, there's not only the standard version you can try versus the pro, but there's also a training session that you can get into. So you could learn those dance moves by doing whichever dance moves you want and repeating those moves over and over. And you can even slow down those dance moves until you get them flawless. So that's a great part of this game, that you can slowly learn those dance routines at your own pace. Now, I just went into these routines pro without practice because I'm just like that, I'm used to that, and I'm glad that those are available from the start, so it's not like you have to unlock them or anything. There's multiplayer also available, and there's full locomotion and smooth turning that you can set in the options. Multiplayer, I did get on there, but there was only one other player that I was able to play with. I believe you can play with at least 4 players, maybe more. And as far as online, the game ran pretty well for me as far as, with that one other player. So I didn't notice too many difference between this and the single player. other than that, there were different modes available to dance. So with multiplayer, you can play strike a pose. You can do co-op dancing. You can do versus dancing. So definitely, it's a lot more fun if you can get a room going with other players. And I hope I'm able to do that. So if you're seeing this review on the Oculus store, add me, Super Attorney, or Fast Lawyer on the Steam store, so we can dance online. I would really like to get a room going with as many players as possible and just jam out to these dances. Some of those versus modes are a lot of fun. The game ran pretty smoothly for me. I didn't have too many issues. I think there was a little bit of lag at the start, but I definitely like the visuals. This is on the Unreal Engine, and yeah, I didn't notice any issues at all. The only issue for me as far as the dances was that I accidentally pressed the pause button. I think it's the Oculus home button that did that, so I would like to see a long press on that. And with online multiplayer, there was this part where it wanted us to jump to move to the next competition, and we just couldn't get it going, so I hope Harmonix changes that so it's easier to get to the next competition. I had a lot of fun. I'm going to give this game a 5 out of 5. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to my channel, and yeah, add me if you want to dance. And yeah, have fun dancing. Goodbye.